Well, good afternoon from Stephen and myself and from everyone at Noisy Panda. We're going to make some serious noise this afternoon, and we're absolutely thrilled to make that noise with Wilbert Vandersteen. Even I'm struggling with the Dutch today. Wilbert is a cartoonist, an illustrator, an award-winning artist here in sunny Holland is today. He's been started, I think, around the 2000 year 2000, and has to date an illustrious career. And I know that he's particularly passionate about comics. So over to you, Wilbert.
Thank you, Steve and David. Well, yes, my name is Wilbert Vandersteen. And I'm a cartoonist, comic maker, and a writer and artist. And I started around 1993, so a bit earlier than 2000. And I always, as a boy, I wanted to make comics, but here in the Netherlands, it's not very easy to make a living out of it. It still isn't. But so I started doing some cartoons, but mostly making illustrations for children's books. And but after a while I wanted to make my own stories. I just wanted to create something, and I started with writing a children's book, but that led me to the thought, well, I wanted to be a comic maker as a boy, so why don't I start doing that? And around 2009 2010 I started to make my first steps in the Dutch comic world and making short comics, participating in contests, and made a web comic for 2 years with Dolly Bellafleur. She's a theater performer. It's the alter ego of Ruud. But after a while, I wanted to make my own stamp and do something which came out of me and out of my heart. And I made an adaptation of Peter and the Wolf, that musical story from Prokofiev. And through that, I got noticed and got in contact with a Flemish comic writer, Marc Legendre, and with him I made 3 comics, Ayak and Por. And after that I started to make my own story called Zon, that's translated as sun, about quite a dramatic story about a boy who isn't loved by his mother, who has quite a lot of ambitions. And that story came out, and after it got very good reviews, and it also won a prize for best comic of that year, 2017. And
Wilbert, can I just ask you, is the comics, are they bigger in Belgium than they are in Holland, or is the market?
Belgium is a bigger a country for comics, and people are more in tune with them, and it's more of a household thing. People read them everywhere. France is even bigger.
What about Asia? Are you Asia and America? Because I know in Asia, especially in Japan, they read comics like they would read like Tolstoy. So are you doing anything in Asia or in America yet, or no?
No, not in Asia. My 2 comics that got an award, Zon en Licht, are translated in English and available on Europe Comics.
Okay. Well, here's the good thing. When we're after our interview and when we post this, when people watching this are actually seeing it posted, right? See, you're right. He does speak better English than I do. We'll actually put the link. So if you send us the link, we'll put it there and we'll promote it. And there you go.
Okay, great. So those two comics got awarded, and during that time I saw in on conventions and in bookstores I saw I didn't see much original Dutch comics with LGBTQ comics or characters in the comics. And I wanted to make that because that's something that's quite close to me as a gay man. And so I created Salto and Ubba, and I also wanted to publish it myself. So I got all the control. A friend of mine I asked him to be a story consultant, so I'm not doing it totally alone, and that's also very good for the story itself. But Salto and Ubba is about a gay couple, and Salto is a theater performer. He performs as a burlesque performer, and Ubba has a small cleaning company, and Salto has some dreams to create a burlesque talent show. And in the first comic, it's about 75 pages. It's also an introduction in their relationship, how they interact or react to each other. But you also see their friends and the community. They live in a coastal town where lots of there's a big rainbow community over there. And so the first story, I want to tell the whole story in 4 books. But the first story is kind of an introduction, has a great cliffhanger because he has also a rival called Ponky. He also performs as in that little theater Pontus, and yeah, well, I'm very excited to make those stories, and it's
could we go back to the names of these people, the
Yeah.
2 main characters, and give us and maybe a little bit of insight as where the names came from? I mean, obviously they're fantasy figures.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, there we go. I was going to say, do you have
Yeah,
drawings to show us? There you go. Wait,
Yeah.
but now I have a question. Are these,
Yeah.
and you know this, because we talked earlier, this is a compliment. Are these my village people in this book, or are they in this?
They are in the second story.
Okay, but we'll be able to show people my favorite drawings is the village after this one. No, do this one first. But
Okay,
I definitely want to see that one, because like I said, that just brings back memories of the 70s, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, Salto, this is Salto with the beard and the ginger hair. Right. Salto in Latin means dancing. It means in Spanish also jump, or but that's how I usually try to find names that have a meaning. Not always, but often I like that because it brings an extra layer to the story. And Abba, first I wanted to use Baba, but I thought, well, Abba is a bit more unusual, so I skipped the B and just it's Abba. It's a Scandinavian name.
Right.
And it's
and this is your first comic book, the gay comic book, and this is the one that's also available in English, is it not?
Yeah, it's translated and it's available as a print on demand on the American Book Center in Amsterdam. You can order it there, and
we will put the links in so people that have interest can click the link and order a book.
Great. And when I'm finished with the second story, which is 125 pages, I want them to combine them, and going to look for a publisher, because here in the Netherlands I can do it myself because it's a small country, so the market is easy to do.
Right.
but going English on the American or British market, that's maybe out of my league to to handle that.
No.
Nah,
So we
you
need
could-
we
you
need
could-
to
you could do it.
we need to do a shout out now to everybody who's interested in this. Come on,
Yeah.
let's have the English version of it. Let's have, you know, all the European language versions of it. Let's it's a
And Asian too. Don't forget, you
Yeah,
have a big
exactly.
Japan
Yeah,
and whatnot over there too.
Yeah.
So can you open it and show us some pictures, or do you have
Yeah.
actual drawings or that you can show as well?
Well, I can share screens later on, but
Sure.
this is the well, the first title page,
Oh, very cool.
and that's how it starts with Salto preparing for a rehearsal.
Okay.
And let me see. There's a bit of their interaction after a discussion gone wrong, where Abba tells Salto to go find something else to do, and then Salto comes up about creating a workshop, a burlesque workshop, where he teaches a couple of guys how to be well, in fact, how to be free and how to dance and how to be a burlesque performer. I'm going to look that up.
Is this something that you're doing as well, Wilbert? Are you also?
No, I like dancing, but I'm not very good in performing on a theater. I would be too nervous, stage nervous. Here are the guys
Oh, very cool.
for the workshop. It's Kyler, Obi, and Corlon, and they all are three very different characters. And at the end, they have they perform on stage with together with Salto in the theater over there.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
And I like to use one colors in scenes to set the mood and combine that with more traditional coloring. And I also like to point people out to that all is not what it seems, and combine male and female. How do you say that? Well, I like to combine the female and male
Characters,
Yeah, aspects. Yeah.
aspects.
Yeah. So that's it's I can show some. Okay. Oh, here share screen.
Will these characters be available as well as for
I'm sorry?
NFTs? Will these characters also be available for the first book?
Yeah, well,
As NFTs, because I know we have a few things from you already, which Steve got really excited about. His Village People collection.
I like the Village People collection. Yes, that is very true.
The most NFTs I sent you were from book 2. I can find some other things. See if I can share some.
Well, the good news is that we record. The bad news is that I think because of the devices that we're using, we can't share the screen because we're recording. Yeah. So I apologize in advance for that. Listen, it's just two old white guys doing an interview. You know what I mean? So like, we're not, when we have like the young 20-year-old kid who knows everything about technology, it'll be more better. But right now it's, this is what it is, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, but in the second book, I also use references to the Village People, because I grew up with those guys too, and that was a lot of fun. So, but I like using images and that are or that are relatable, but I also like to stir things up and come with ideas that are not very usual. In the second book, there are for the show that they are producing, they have not rehearsals, but people there are some acts in that are provoking a little thought about being people who are disabled but still can perform, and but also well.
That's okay. So let me ask you this question. So
yeah,
LGBTQ, which is fine.
Yeah.
Or as Seinfeld would say, there's nothing wrong with that. So my question is that is the community embrace the comics or that you're doing, or is the community not know enough about you and the comics that they can embrace it? And like, if they find out, I'm sure they would embrace it, but is it just that you don't have enough, like, hey, here I am type of thing?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get known. It's not very easy, because the comics market in the Netherlands is small. It's not very well known as in Belgium and France. So the LGBTQ comics within that is even smaller. And I don't think that every rainbow community member is into comics. I did reach out a lot on Facebook groups, or I'm also making cartoons for the Dutch online gay newspaper. So it's been out there, and it's I think it's embraced to a certain extent, and also the group I'm reaching out to is bigger than the rainbow community. So it's but I think I'm getting there. I'm getting more and more readers and fans who discover me through Facebook or through Instagram or Twitter, whatever. So it's getting there, but a bit slower than I thought.
Gotcha. Well, that's so. But the nice thing is, though, it crosses everything, A through Z. It's not just particularly. I like that he's sipping like vodka while he's interviewing with us. That is really cool. I just need to go get my scotch and a cigar, and we'll be good for the day. But I like the fact that you go across everything. So whether you are heterosexual or you're part of the rainbow community, it makes no difference. The comic will appeal to you, and the artwork, especially if you grew up in, like, if you're of a certain age and you grew up in the late 60s and 70s, if you will, and you know the Village People, you know, all that, just the artwork just brings a smile to your face, and the story as well. But for me, it was the artwork. When we first saw it, I was like, David, this is awesome. This brought me back to New York City when I was a kid.
Great.
No, really think about it, right? It's just like you have all the characters, and it was just like, that was just so cool. So it's and the nice thing is we'll have a link to voice.com and below, where we actually have all your characters available for purchase as an NFT, and I guess as a digital. If we're doing that as well. So
cool.
Yeah, we've offered them up as limited editions. So it's only going to be 100 of each one minted.
Cool.
And they're of course out from the second book, so I'm really excited about having some from the first book as well. And you know, Steve was talking about these. You know, I was looking through them again today. What have we got? Cowboy, bull runner, a bull rider. So even better. Tutu leather boot. Was it sailor sea salt?
Sailor sea salt.
So are these are the characters in this second show in this book, because I don't want to you know, spoil the party, but I do know that the first book's got a cliffhanger in it.
Yeah, it does.
So you know, so that leads you then automatically onto the second book. Again, that will be available in English, or it is available in English?
I will.
I will on demand.
I will let it translate again. And my first thought is to make it available as print on demand, but I'm also gonna look for a proper publisher, or in America or in Great Britain. First, I want to get it out there and print it in English. So
when is this? So when is the second book finished? So or is it already out?
No, it's not out. I finished page 90 of the 125,
Okay.
and I think it's will be ready in this fall. It's a big, broad area, but
It'll be ready sometime between now and this time next year. You can order the book type of thing. That's fine. Like I said, we'll put all the links below. So as things come ready, or people want to follow you on Instagram, they can do both. And then as the book gets ready, you can click it. And who knows, maybe a publisher will see this and go, hey, we have interest. So, and then it's kind of a cliffhanger because we're not showing all the cool art, like the Village People art. So they'll have to now actually go look for it. And, that'll also be kind of interesting as well. So very cool. So you've got this. So what's your next step? What do you want to do? As my father would say, when you grow up, what do you want to do? What do you want to be when you grow up?
Well, I want to, I'm also already starting to write book number 3 and after that book number 4. So when that is finished, maybe I'll have a new story of Salto and Abba. I'm quite in love with those with that duo, and I love them, and I think there are many stories to be told with them, and so just continue.
Very cool.
Making art and stories. So
we'll do a call out now to Cartoon Network. Say, come on, guys, why are you sleeping? Why are you not picking this up and making this into a cartoon?
Well, you know what? Adult Swim. They have the Adult Swim at night. So so we'll be hashtagging all of that. Shamelessly plugging you like there's no tomorrow.
And Netflix.
Barnum and Bailey has nothing on us. Trust me when I tell you. So we'll make sure we plug.
Wilbert, you said you were a book, but this is not a cartoon then, that you're going back to illustrating books again, or an illustrated book?
No, I just mean this comic. I think I call it a book, but it's probably because I'm have another thought how do you say that? I know that comics mean the word comics means in America means something else than over here, and graphic and you have the term graphic novel also, and well, anyway, I call it a comic book. So
but they are actually for the US market, then maybe, and for the UK market, graphic novels.
No, I just call it a comic book, but some will call it a graphic novel. I leave it up to them.
Well, we'll, like I said, shameless plug. We're going to put it up. I think it's more comic in a good way. And the graphic novel I always see is like Deadpool. That's the graphic, it's all taken from that kind of, thing where Superman was a comic and Batman was a comic type of thing. Or I guess whatever Marvel is doing this week with their 12,000 characters. But yeah, I would see this more as a comic / book. And I think in Asia, they would look at it as a comic, not a graphic novel, because it's just, But yeah, so like I said, we'll shamelessly promote this like there's no tomorrow. So we want to say, we knew you when. We're going to say, Wilbur spoke to us here, where he was famous globally. He spoke to the 2 old white guys. That's it. And then from there, now like we get a postcard once a year, we're very happy. So, and then the other thing is when your second book is done, if you want, we can always do another interview and we can show, of course, my favorite characters, the Village People characters, which also can be seen down below in the link for voice.com at Noisy Panda. But those are just, like I said, biggest smile on my face when I saw those. Those to me were tremendous.
Cool.
So yeah, it was just awesome. So
now come on, Steve, tell us which one was your favorite then.
I will tell you that the first one you sent me was the Gentleman in the Chaps, but then the next one behind that was the guy with the tutu, and I was like, love that. It was just they're all smiling. They all have like this gregarious, like full of life, and I was like, this is cool. That was all it was. It was just sort of like, and then as you sent me all of them, I was like, wait a minute, this is like the Village People now, and I was like, that's even better, because when I was a kid. Well, we're too stupid to know when we're kids, being from New York, especially, everybody's just a human being. We don't really separate you between color or what your sexual orientation is. We could care less. So you're just a person, right? Yeah. So the Village People to us were like, these are cool. These are just guys. nobody cared.
No.
So, you know, now people care. Nobody cared. I still don't care. But to me, it was very cool. So looking at it, I was just the biggest smile and grin on my face, you know, going back. I remember this as a kid. It was just a different time where it was sort of like, this is awesome. So to me, it's like I'd put those up and I'd be just as happy if whether it's in a comic, a book, a graphic novel, or if it's just that. I thought it was awesome. So to me, that was cool. It just made big smile to your face. So hopefully this will, you know, go out to our 10 viewers. No, hopefully more. Go out to all our viewers, and they can all enjoy, you know, as well, especially if they were Village People fans, right? So because they can buy the image. So now here's my question: are we doing the image as just an NFT, or are we doing the image that they can actually then get a printed one that Wilbur signs? I think I'll ask you here. So.
Yeah, well, that's a good thought. I think we could do that. And yeah.
So if someone buys one of the NFTs that's below, they can just email us and say, hey, can you have Wilbur sign a real one for me? And then we'll just have it printed and signed. And then here's our shameless plug. Shipping and handling is covered by the person who buys it. Anyway, so like I said, this is just a goofy, fun interview. It's for people just to get a feel for you, your artwork, or whatever. Now, the stuff that's behind you, is that stuff you can show us, or is that stuff that's like top secret that you can't show us?
No, it's not. It's some printouts in grayscale from the first and the second book.
Oh, okay.
I can. There's no, it's a bit too far away, but
no worries.
No, there's one. This one,
right?
And that's after the story is finished. I have some pages with info and why I started this comic, and this is just a fun illustration of Salto in a costume. And
I thought I was going to say it looks like a rabbi, so it's nice. You got my people involved now. Good.
He's dressed up like a French nun.
Okay, same thing. Rabbi, French nun. They all wear the same clothes. That's good.
Here he is as a toreador with Zorro behind him.
That's wild. I love it.
Yeah, and I just wanted to create a background and put it some in the book. I also have a page of an inspiration that's called Irish burlesque performer called Willy there, and he helped me with a lot of information of how that goes about and how many different acts there are. There are comedy, there are more political burlesque performances and all kind of things. So
that is very cool. No, I like I said, the nice thing about it, and I haven't read the book, and I'll apologize in advance for that, but the artwork just makes you smile. Okay. That's it. So if the artwork is in the book is the same that I've seen, that David has shown me, and that we have on our site and whatnot, it'll just make you smile. So the book can only enhance it. Okay. So yeah.
Well, I'm going to be a bit of a party pooper actually, because as much as I wholeheartedly agree with Steve that you know, I mean, as soon as I saw it, I mean, I found you on Facebook and I've been following you, I think, for a year or year and a half or something. So more of a serious question: did you get any pushback from these sort of characters? Because they you know, on the one side, they're extremely funny and they're brilliantly drawn and they do bring a smile on your face, but they're also slightly confrontational. And I was just wondering if you know, and I think intentional from you to do that.
Yeah, not very personally. I put some images on my Facebook page of Salto and Ebba, and the only thing I got at the moment is some angry emoticons, but not strong or angry words, or nothing personal to me, thank God. No, not from Salto and Ebba. A couple of years back, I made a for Halloween, I made a version of my version of the Addams Family, and more in a rainbow community way. And those got a lot of angry comments and reactions, and don't know them literally from heart, but they made me remove that post at that moment. So,
but it was this because people are like hardcore Addams Family fans that thought, well, you just, it should be as it should be, or is it because of the rainbow aspect of it, do you think?
No, what I remember is because the more hardcore Addams Family, and it should stay as it is instead of making them something doing something different with it. And Addams Family is also a great inspiration for me, because it's certainly in those times that it started, it was a queer family.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can look at it that way too. So I made my version of it, and the parents are two women, and Uncle Fester is a cross-dresser or something like that. I made something funny out of it, but also rainbow related. And some people didn't like that.
Did more people like it or not like it?
Well, it's been a couple of years. I don't know more. The people who didn't like it had a more greater impact on me.
Oh, well, you know what? You should read. So this is the New Yorker in me. I would put it back up there. I would tell them, usually in New York, we use the F word like a comma. I would use the comma word and a few other words and tell them what to go do with themselves. Put it back up there, because now it's like, that's your freedom of expression, and that's what you see it. So unless the creator, whoever owns the rights to the Addams Family, tells you to take it down, tell them to go pound salt, or they can go play my favorite game. We try not to use those words on this show, but I'm sure one day it'll slip. But I would do that. If it's a good feeling one, that's it. They've got comics on cartoons and everything now with two mommies and two daddies and so who cares? It's the Addams Family. And to your point, yes, that was a little weird back in the 60s where you have the whole family and that. So what's the big deal? So you just made it happy and bright. So people's opinions usually mean nothing. So unless you're getting sued, who cares? So
well, let's make it.
I'm Jewish, so we can't use sue as a proper name. We use it as a verb. So that's why. So
well, maybe we should make an NFTs out of those, out of the Addams Family's ones, because they sound brilliant.
I'll show you.
Steve just loves kicking indoors, and like I say, just wait until they send you an invite to truck up to court somewhere, and then we see what happens.
Yeah, and I have no problem with somebody telling me they don't like it, because I can tell them, good, then don't buy it. And if you like it, buy it. And I would venture to say more people will like it than won't. And once again, the people that don't, who cares? They're not your audience.
No.
Right? And whether a 10-year-old goes, mommy, I love it, or mommy, I hate it, that's his opinion. And whether mommy or daddy and daddy or mommy and mommy go, I love or hate it, that's their opinion. At the end of the day, who cares? That's you. That's a part of you. Like, I'm sure some of these people, like the drawings that I like, the illustrations that I like, I'm sure some people don't. I don't care that they don't like it. That's great. Then don't like it. I'm sure you don't like some of Picasso's work either. So, or Leonardo da Vinci, right? Or all these other things. That's fine. But I like it. So if you don't like it, don't buy it, or don't go to the website, or don't listen to it. That's okay. Like, you're not going to hurt our feelings. So, and that's it. So you, my friend, you can promote whatever you want. As long as it's not XXX on our site, we're good to go. But if all your stuff is as we see it, we are very happy. You can promote and do and go from there.
Okay, I will.
There you go. That's it. That would be my little soapbox speech for today. And tomorrow I'm going to go, storm the Bastille with the people and make sure nobody just gets to eat cake. So we're all good.
Well, Wilbert, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure. We had a sneak preview of the exciting stuff that's going to happen.
Great.
These wonderful characters are available as limited avatars on voice.com under Noisy Panda NFT, and we hope that I hope that we can help you promote your art to such an extent that you'll be able to pay for your own publishing in English, because that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I
Because
agree 100%.
publishers out there in the looking at this, these need to be in English and other modern European languages, because you're missing out on all the fun.
No, it's phenomenal stuff, my friend. Thank you for your time. Really greatly
You're
appreciate it. And I'll look forward to the new things that you send us, especially the Addams Family one. Wink, wink, hint, hint. And then we'll go from there.
I will. Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.